good people, Tiffany Javon here back with another video, and today we actually want to talk about the different habits for self-improvement. And so one of the habits that I used to really not like, but I found another way in which to do it, and that's reading. So I like when I would just pick up a book or educational book or something, that's trying to give me knowledge. For whatever reason, when I pick it up and I start to read it, just the task of reading, whatever the case may be, just seemed so daunting to me that I would just kind of shy away from it. I would read, because I had to, like when I was in school or whatever, or had to learn something for a test. But, it would always make me sleepy. And so I was like, man, there needs to be another way in which, we can read or whatever the case may be, because I'm just like, I really don't like reading. So when they came out with the wonderful thing called audiobooks and apps and different things like that can actually read to you, or whatever the case may be, whatever you open up, there's apps that can read to you. A light turned on, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, that's, I started to love it because I was able to digest more information by listening to audiobooks because like when you sit there and literally have to read, it can be time consuming. It can take time, unless you break it down to where you're only reading a few pages a day or whatever the case may be. But sometimes stories get interesting, education gets interesting sometimes, and so you may want to spend a little bit more time reading. And sometimes people are not as fast of readers as they would like to be, so audiobooks are like my go-to. And so when I'm trying to research something, and I'm trying to advance my education, or I'm trying to listen to something that's going to be productive, that's going to add value to whatever I'm doing, audiobooks, me finding an audiobook on it, and doing that method is actually more helpful, because usually when you're in transit or when you're driving somewhere, most of the time, especially like if somebody's going to work, 9 times out of 10 people have like at least a 30-minute commute. And so if I have a 30-minute commute, instead of like all the time like turning on the radio or whatever, just listening to news or whatever the case may be, because that stuff to me I just feel like can be a little traumatizing, to say the least, because there's, a lot of times with news, they're of course they're talking about current events, but I'm not just talking about that. A lot of times they're talking about like sadness and death and this, and I'm just like, I'd rather listen to something that's going to be productive, that's going to stimulate my mind, that's going to, allow me to learn something different, or whatever, that's going to add value. So I started listening to audiobooks, especially when I'm like driving somewhere. So I'm like, I get a twofer, I'm driving somewhere at the same time, but I'm also getting in, a couple of chapters of a book or whatever the case may be. And so, reading, I would do that to help in your self-development journey. Finding, if you don't like to, do the manual method of reading, audiobooks is a way to go. Okay. Number 2 is that you want to sleep enough. Okay. A lot of times when we're carrying all these different loads on our backs, we wear all these different titles or whatever the case may be, and you're going and going and going and going. A lot of times, our mind is still racing even when our body has stopped to try to rest, and it takes time, to kind of settle down and to relax or whatever, and to get enough sleep. And so in order to be operating at your optimal self, right, and to be in your optimal health, you got to be getting the right number of hours of sleep. And so some people have gotten used to lack of sleep. Like I was talking to my supervisor the other day, and she was telling me how she usually only gets about 4 hours of sleep, and I'm like, that's not healthy. Like, although you can operate like that, or because you've been doing it so long, your body has become immune. I'm like, but that is not optimal. You should be getting 7-8 hours of sleep at least. Like, you gotta be getting your sleep to allow your body to rejuvenate, and to allow your body, to self-heal, and to allow your body to reset in whatever the case may be. So, when you're running on fumes like that, like, it can be good, and building up an immunity to that is not healthy either. Your body is just learned to operate in a deficit, so to speak. And so it's like, why, when you have the opportunity and the space in which you can allow yourself to get more rest. So sleep enough, get enough rest, guys. Another thing is a healthy diet, and everything in moderation. But by healthy diet, I'm not saying like we got a diet and we have to cut out sugars and cut out everything that's not necessarily good for us or whatever in bulk. But what I'm saying is like being mindful of what you put into your bodies. You know what I mean? Like don't just spend a whole day just snacking and eating junk food, without putting the right amount of protein, the right amount of substance and nutrients and different things like that in your body. So, getting a well balanced meal. Yes, you can have your snack here and there. Yes, you can have your dessert here and there and all of that. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but everything in moderation. So just being mindful of what you're putting in your body, being mindful, of what you're eating and what the ingredients are. Because a lot of times, people are not even cognizant as to what ingredients are in a product. Like I would, if I were you, and everything that I that you put in your body, I would take a look at the label. Like if they have a nutritional label on the back of it, if it's something that's packaged or whatever case may be, or even if it's something that you buy at a drive-through or whatever case may be, I would take the time to research the nutrients to find out exactly what's in it, and research these things that are in food because you want to be sure that you're not, stuffing your body with all these toxins. You don't want to just be stuffing your body with any and everything. So, that's a part of self-improvement, improving yourself. So, let's see. After a healthy diet, you want to practice gratitude. Practice being thankful. Be thankful because when you're thankful, more goodness can come to you. When you're thankful, God can bless you with more. When you're thankful and you're able to, God has blessed you, so you're able to turn around and be a blessing to others. There's nothing wrong with being grateful and thankful and blessing forward. There's nothing wrong with pushing forward, and blessing. So that's awesome. Learn to be thankful and practice gratitude. Another thing, of course, with self-development is that you want to set goals for every area of your life. You want to set goals for yourself. And I've talked about this in length in my other videos, so just go check out one of those. But you definitely want to have goals, and aspirations and dreams and things that you want to go after, because that just makes a better version of you. Like you want to go after things that's going to add value to your life. You want to cultivate healthy relationships and healthy connections and different things like that in your life. Like you have to want to be the best version of yourself. Why settle for being only 60% or 70% of yourself when you can be 100%? You can be operating at the optimal. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to do that. Another thing is that you want to, journal. If writing down tasks and different things like that or whatever, that's not the only thing that you need to do as far as goal setting or as far as, trying to get your life in alignment. But you want to journal. You can journal down your life's experiences and traveling and vacation and all this other kind of stuff. Like there's so much stuff that you can do that that you can capture, not just the images and the videos, but also journal like how you felt when you took that trip, how you felt when you walked into that place, how you felt when you reconnected with that person from a long time ago, or whatever the case may be. Like so that you can go back and you can read it, you can be thankful all over again. Okay. And so another thing is you want to read some pages of a book daily. That's another thing that I was talking about, reading at the front, at the top, at the very top. You want to read pages of, you want to give yourself a set schedule where you can at least intake something, like some type of reading material, some type of productive reading material on a daily basis, right? There's so much that if we encounter on a daily basis, you should be trying to look at as much positivity, as much education, as much, of something that can better your life, on a daily basis. Another thing is with self-development is self-care or caring for yourself. You want to take out time to, enjoy the things that you like. Enjoy the things that help you, de-stress. Enjoy the things that help you take the load off. You know, if you like those long baths, you know, take some time to make a long, you know, soothing bath, or you want to get massages, you know, treat yourself to a massage in there. You know, if you like to go for, you know, long walks or whatever the case may be, do these things, you know, because you have to take time for yourself. If you like to, as us ladies, sometimes like to go get manicures and pedicures and get, you know, just to look nice, to get dolled up, you know, not necessarily always for a specific reason. The reason is I feel good when I get it done. I feel more confident. I feel, you know, more empowered or whatever the case may be, because I take pride in how I look. I take pride, you know, in how I show up for myself. We're not even talking about other people. We talk about for yourself. This is self-development. You have to be happy with yourself if you want anybody else to be happy with you. Okay, so you have to start with yourself, and you have to constantly work on yourself. Not be the one that always want to pass judgment on others and want others to change. The change has to start with you. You know what I mean? You have to be that example. Another thing that you want to do is, you know, you want to exercise a little bit more if you're not already in the routine of exercising. Even if it's going for a walk or drinking more water, you want to be more cognizant of your health. You want to be more health conscious, because again, you want to be operating at your optimal. So you want to be conscious of these things. Another thing is that you want to surround yourself with positivity and positive people and positive, you know, experiences. And, you know, you want more of these things in your life to create more positive things in your life. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to be mindful of these things. You want to seek out, you know, where can I go to be in a positive atmosphere? You know, how can I find more positive and collaborative. I'm trying to say more connecting relationships, or whatever the case may be. Like, go out there and find it, right? Go out there and create those experiences that you'll be glad you did. Another thing, and I'll leave you guys with this, is meditation and prayer. Spending time, you know, with God, spending time, you know, praying and meditating and thinking on, you know, these things that are good for you. That's good for the mental, that's good for the physical, that's good for the psychological, and all that kind of stuff, right? And so you want to be, you know, meditating, you want to be, you know, spending time with God and praying, you know, you want to be in whole, basically, right? So to work on yourself, to work on oneself, is to want to be whole. You want to be your whole authentic self, but you also want to be your whole optimal self. You want to be the best version of yourself that you could be. Okay, and so I hope you guys found value in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and comment down below some things that you've been working on to work on towards your self-development. You know, share, you know, 1 or 2 tips or whatever with us. You know, we want to see. So without further ado, guys, I hope you guys are blessed by this content, and until my next video, guys, stay blessed.